Can a cigar be worth $100? That's a question I have heard so many times working in the cigar industry, and I just changed my mind on the answer. For the longest time, I said, I don't know. Like, it really depends on the person. Maybe to you, that could be the case, but to some people, it could never possibly be the case. And, like, the other question that arises is, could you spend enough money making a cigar through quality and excellence and, high end materials that it qualifies a $100 price point? Some people would certainly say no to that question. But at the same time, I recently learned some fascinating things about cigars that caused me to change my answer. Recently, I spent some time with Jeremiah Mirafel from the Mirafel family. They've been in cigars for 415 years. He knows a lot about the leaf. And what he told me is the longer you age tobacco, the less yield you get out of it. Just meaning that the longer you age a set of tobacco, the less usable tobacco you end up with. So if you were to age tobacco for 3 years before putting it on a cigar, you would have a pretty good yield. You'd have a lot of usable leaf. But if you age it for 5 years, you end up with a little bit less. If you age it for 10 years, you end up with a lot less. And these days we're seeing even more blends that some of them have 15-year aged tobacco in them. And I've learned a lot about cigar making working in this industry, but there's just still an ocean of stuff that I don't know. And this one example of the amount of yield versus the amount of aging is just one way that cigars can end up costing a lot more to make. Now, does that mean that all expensive cigars are qualified for their price? No, I certainly don't think that's the case. I don't think that every cigar above $20 or $30 necessarily qualifies its shelf price. But at the same time, I do know that there are very special cigars out there that are pretty pricey that absolutely do. And the reason that they do is because of the amount of painstaking energy, effort, and love that goes into the production. So the question is, what is the high-end cigar that to you qualifies its price? Drop it down in the comments. And what's the upper end limit? How much is too much? Put it down there as well. And thanks for watching.